Going everybody, Viscount Gregor Hawke here, and welcome to my 100 shots a day, 100 days Pell challenge. This is my day 40. And today was practice. It was a few hours ago, and I wanted to hop on the Pell really quick. I do need to go to the store and do grocery shopping with my wife, so I didn't actually suit up today. So do as I say, not as I do, I guess. Like make sure you're wearing your demis and your arms and all that. You should have your shield, but today's a lazy day, I think. Today the plan was to leg everybody, and it was kind of a small practice actually. Last practice we had 5 knights and 3 unbelts, I believe, so we had 8 fighters. And today it was just my man at arms. So he knew the plan too. I mean, it was leg plan day, so for the most part, damn near, I wouldn't say 100% of the time, because you have to keep them honest every now and then. And instead of throwing legs, you just gotta do that. So, but it was well over 90%. I tried very hard to leg, and I have my 3 leg plans. And I wanted to talk about the 1 leg plan. It's this one, as well as this one. It's mostly that one right there, where I just kind of step to the side, catch the leg. I misjudged the range at least 3 different times, and I've already gone over the footage a little bit, but I was catching them just about like this. If you see where I put my pail. If they weren't stepping forward, if Dart wasn't stepping forward, I was just catching the very, very just end of the sword. So there was a few times I misjudged my range, and that's because I should be about here when I'm training that shot instead of back here for that one. Because this whole side of my body is basically retreating away on the counter hip rotation. So I'm moving away, my sword's moving away from the target. You still have to really drive it in. I'm almost too far away when I'm supposed to stand there. So my subconscious, everything worked out the way I wanted it. But what I had done on that, without realizing it, guys, without realizing it, was I ingrained in a bad position, just slightly. And we're talking inches here, just slightly. Like that would have been great. I can drive that in really well. Not so much here unless they're stepping, because I'm hitting them at the end of my stick. So what I did is I ingrained in a bad position, which is a bad habit, for just that shot combination that I do. So from now on, when I'm training it, I'm going to be doing it like that so I can step past. And the same exact thing for this one too. When I sweep across here, go for the house block, catch the snap right here, step in and drive into the leg as well. Up here. So I'm kind of like doing that really quick. But what I need to do is I just need to be in deeper. And I have to program myself again to recognize their body position and all that down to the inch. And technically, I mean, it's on snow too, but I just ingrained in a bad position as well. So just be aware. Even maybe Viscount type people can ingrain a bad habit and they do not realize it, and when they go out and they put it into practice, you get used to these positions that you're training. You see me training a lot like in this position, and I do that a lot just so I can recognize that when I'm out there fighting, I don't have to really train this so much, because I know I'm training that I've already got that ground. So. What I did though, bad position, was bad. So that's what practices are for. Even though it worked out multiple times, there were multiple times where it didn't work out, where I knew that I had the right range. And I just kept hitting the very tip of the sword. So we're just gonna practice that a little bit then. And I'm actually just taking more, not quite like that would be a full step. So it's kind of like a 3/4 step, I guess. Ooh, I set up the wrong side. But yeah, leg plan was in full effect today. And even though my man knew the plan and he had known it like all week, they still have to react to the first shot in most cases because it's also a kill, that's the thing. And it's just those angles, stabbing, getting them to bite this direction, dropping it right down the second you see upward shield movement at all of any shape. But yeah, shield today, guys. Oh man, felt great. Never got tired with it. Well, there was one occasion where I got tired and I just kind of for a second and then it was fine. But yeah, you never find yourself in situations where you're fighting like 10 minutes straight and you're keeping that shield. But yeah, leg plan worked very well. If your opponent's not going to give you the opening, you find a way through manipulation to create the opening that you want. And that's what a lot of what I train for. Creating openings. Getting them to fall for it. And then taking the angle the second they do. Not so much this. Bunch of this straight on and straight back stuff, none of that. You start out linear. Hey, look at me, I'm linear. No, I'm not. Take the cut. As you stab, most people plant. They're thinking this way, they plant and they start to rotate that way. That's why it's so effective. And it works for a lot of people, even experienced players, because man, you gotta pick up that poke. You just gotta. The second you plant, the second you rotate, follow my body movement this way. No sir. No soup. But yeah, it's a really good practice. I wish we could have had more for Dart and I's sake because we just fought and fought and fought and fought. And I still had a lot of gas left. And it's because of the training, I know it is. The daily training just really helps. And that off leg, oh man. It is so nice off that poke. Just like, I can't even explain how awesome it is. Especially if you catch him stepping. I'm serious. It's just beautiful. Try to do it a little slow so you can kind of see how the hand and basket, everything moves. Gravity return, boom, it's so quick and it pops right back into position. Super fast. But yeah, leg plan is definitely in effect. And I did think today too, I want to kill with the wrap. I want to use the wrap. Let me use the wrap. I had to think about it. There was nothing natural or it just happens when I see an opening, like how I program myself on the Pell. Nothing like that. I had to think about it and do it. I'm just like, okay, this is the plan. And then go in there and try to do it. Nothing natural though. Nothing seeing the openings, reacting instantly. Nothing like that. But it works, so. And I've always been pretty good with them, so I gotta. After I get this snap, which as you can see I haven't trained at all, because I think next week's also going to be leg week. Probably do a few of those, maybe 2 or 3. We have an event next weekend, so you know, I guess I could do leg climb in a tournament if there's one, you know. Doesn't hurt the leg of your opponent. It's feeling a little bit better stepping past that piece of tape. Way better. Yeah. Such a phenomenal combo. Oh, I have to take a moment too. So we're at fighter practice, of course. It's always about fighter practice, right? And we're sitting there, and suddenly the propose comes up as a topic. And I'm like, oh my God, Sir Sebastian, did you see the killing blow of propose? Or Hansa, I mean, dude, it was so beautiful. It was like his honorable opponent was on his knees, and he throws this snap, or this slot. He kind of drops it in like this, and he just turns his whole body sideways, and it was so fast. It was like the second this hit, he was already rotating and throwing it, and it was beautiful though. We were, oh my God, that was so awesome. And you know me, because I like that shot anyway, that belt grab. And I've always been wanting to do, like I used to throw, you know, really quick. That's my slot. Or when I catch somebody over here, or it's mostly like this, when I catch them in a tent, way up here, or yeah, right up here, and I throw that slot in, and it comes in at this angle. I want to start training, instead of this, I really want to start training where this basket comes way down, and then it slips in like that. And I forgot the Duke that teaches it. He teaches the, very similar to how I'm doing my snap, project the tip of the blade, that type of stuff. But yeah, I really want to just kind of drive it in down low. I mean, look at that. Most people's guards are up high anyway. I mean, Florentine guys too, if they're out like that, they're gonna go in for that cross block, and it's just gonna come just like right underneath of it. So that really got me thinking, because I can do that, grab your turn back. Because of the new shield style I have, I don't have to worry about returning it into that position. That would be just, always looking for a new way to hit somebody in the belts. Always. And the snap is just really feeling good. I just didn't get to use it much today. Because today was late class, so I didn't get to use it much. I did throw a few times because you gotta keep the man at arm's on. You can't make them think, okay, so every single time the first shot comes in, it's just a bunch of bullshit to set my leg up. But yeah, I cannot wait to start training wraps. The wraps feel good, really good. They still feel good. I just have to think about it. That's the thing that's retarded. If I do that, then my sword drops. Yeah, today was fun. And I probably should get ready to take off because we do need to do grocery shopping. But yeah, I think I'm just going to I did a lot of lake plan stuff today. But I'm going to keep the tools kind of sharp. I probably won't train them as much as this. I'll be focusing on snap and belt grab and off body. But I am going to try to keep them going. Let me have a couple more practices of leg hunting as a main focus. Because I'm pretty soon I'm working myself up to just defense, where I might throw a couple blows the entire practice. I'm just going to be going full D. So I want to get the leg tools sharp, get those going, then really press hard on these defense. I'll probably go at least 4 or 5 home time practices at least. I think last time I did it when I picked up center boss, I did that and it was like months where I did that. It was really strange too, because usually I go out there and I'm reactionary, but I'm also very creative. When I start fighting, when I start the fight, I start the fight. So. And people expect that from me. And then I just go all defense. So yeah, very, very productive practice. Mainly because I figured out that's no bueno. This distance, not really, not unless I catch them on a step. So programmed in bad distance. Might as well work that to you. And I didn't even see those today. I feel kind of bad. And that was a bad distance one right there too. I felt it caught it like right there. Because I'm a big preacher, wear your stuff. Feel the binding. Let your body feel what it feels like to have slight restrictions and more weight. Because you can be a god of a Pell person and be like, oh, I'm so awesome. And then you put the gear on and go out there and just get racked. Because it feels all completely different. But yeah, very pleased that I went out there, and even though I had a successful day, I saw where I was screwing up, dude. Especially in that respect. This distance thing, the angle is basically right, but that makes all the difference in the world. And I did that repetitively, so I'm glad that I kind of filmed the fighting, so others can research what they're trying to improve on and where they're messing up and where they're improving and all that. But that's what the biggest take I got from that today. My mistake was I had programmed my subconscious to orientate like this to my opponent, exactly like this, and I ended up needing to be exactly like this. And I programmed that for about 2 weeks. So whenever I did this off leg shot, I would say I was about 50-50. This right here, by far more successful. And I threw it a lot, but I landed it a lot. And I even got to the point where my man started wising up slightly. He wouldn't follow my thrust to the face so much as to just kind of block it with his sword. But the thing was, as I know the strengths and weaknesses a lot towards the center bosses, so instead of stabbing for the eyes, I just stabbed his corner just right here on the other side of his eyes, which kicked this out, and I could drop it, and I started doing that a lot. But yeah, things you have to do. I mean, like if your opponent is not going to give you an opening, you need to create the opening somehow. And if he's not going to move his shield for this thrust, well, then I got to move his shield. You know, that's what you have to think of when you're out there fighting your opponents. Like if they have a really good defense, well, then you got to move their shield. You have to physically move it. It only took just half a second to go from that thrust, which kicked it out, to right there at full speed. I mean, it's very fast, especially when you're talking about this angle change. Here, it makes it very hard for him to race that. That's extremely hard for anybody that's going to have their shield stabbed out of position where it kicks out on the bottom. So that's how you got to kind of think, especially the more experienced fighters you fight, and you know the strengths and weaknesses of, say, a round shield, you have to kind of exploit those, because if you just fight without doing things like that, there's a very good chance you might get outclassed, even if you're pretty evenly matched. And that's one of the main reasons why I picked up the center boss. It wasn't to fight with it until the day I die and be buried with it. It's just another one of those things I've done in the past where I picked up a shield, picked up a certain style, just so I can learn the strengths and weaknesses so I can better combat it in the future. So yeah, I told my wife this wasn't going to be very long, and this turned into a very long kind of tailing episode. Very happy with the shield. It performed very well. I might not even bother putting the strap on it because, I mean, it was great. And there was that bad position again. There we go. I can feel it and hear it in the sword now that I know what to look for. But yeah, we'll go ahead and call it then. Get a few more snaps, because I'm not really, today was like super amounts of leg days. Just kind of going on. Kind of trying that closing my hand thing at the end. I'm sort of with Cyrus on that. Like I don't know. I mean, I do it occasionally, kind of get that pop at the end of the sword, but I'm always that whole fire through your opponent. Like, your head's not here, it's back here somewhere. Just go right through it. Alright, I'll go ahead and end it so we can go grocery shopping. Thank you for joining me today, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.